So, I feel a little bit stupid because I am trying to, well, first of all, I'm making a PowerPoint slide because I want to have a welcome back to school PowerPoint slide um, for my class, and I'm just doing one PowerPoint slide, so I'm integrating all the classes into there, which is going to be a huge PowerPoint slide. But it's definitely necessary because um, I want to learn. I'm learning technology ideally. I'm like a dinosaur, even though I'm pretty young. I should know technology better. I just had to call my brother to learn how to share screen in Zoom, and it was right in front of my face. Welcome to my world, guys. Welcome to my world. But we got that handled because I wanted to do the PowerPoint slides and I wanted to use Zoom for this reason. And I think it'll really help because reading through PowerPoint slides, it's fine, but everyone can have a question going over things like, this is what we're going to talk about and this is how we're going to talk about. That is going to be hard. Probably more hard and more complicated than I thought it was going to be, but we're getting there. And basically my plan for teaching virtual, which is a little bit harder too because let me take these off because the glare is going to really bug me. Teaching virtual art is a lot harder because I'm also trying to make sure that my students have supplies. Not all students have art supplies at home or can afford art supplies. I personally cannot afford a lot of art supplies that I would love to have. Some people can, some people can't. So I'm going to try to navigate with the teachers if I have to create some kits and have the kits picked up by PLTs, which are like their personal teachers, or if some of their money they have to buy certain supplies. I'm going to try my hardest to find a great list of good economical supplies that kids could use. But I think what might happen is I might have to put together kits for some of my classes and then have them returned. I'm not sure how that's going to work. I'm going to talk to my school about it just so that way students feel like they're able to, especially with painting. I know that my painting classes they're gonna need paint and paintbrushes. Yes, you can paint with coffee and you can make your own paint, which I will teach students how to do that, especially like first day, but some of it is gonna be a little bit harder to do. And I want to ensure that my students have a lot of the supplies that they're gonna need and want and learn to use aside from lessons. And I know the lessons are going to be a huge thing, especially art history. I want to go over tons of artists, whether that's like even modern artists. I think that finding somebody who creates artwork and really just kind of goes with it, I think that that's going to be a very, very important thing to do with the class, just to get them kind of like more not just creating art but getting inspiration. And that's been a little bit harder for some of these kids because they're just kind of taught to pick a reference and just paint it or draw it or sculpt it, and it's kind of like getting out of that rhetoric of things and just learning how to be creative. They don't understand a lot of things that comes with art. So I think that learning how to enable PowerPoint slides and talking about it, that is going to be a lot more beneficial. And it's also too, I do miss being one-on-one with the kids. And when I first started teaching virtually in March, like everybody else, it was really confusing because I wasn't quite able to do Zoom, and like I had a lot of technical difficulties, as well as just like a whole plethora of things that I struggled with. And so now I'm kind of trying to get the hang of it now while I can, because to me it's so important to be working on this stuff and to really just kind of like get something down so that way the kids get the most that they can. Because I definitely know for sure that we have not quite been able to, I haven't been able to give them the best art education. I mean, I gave them as best as I could, but I don't think it was enough, so I'm trying to just enhance my teaching abilities to get them what I think they deserve and need. But yeah, I just kind of thought that that was like really important to talk about, because I can't hold this right, because now I'm getting back into the teacher grind. Like, yeah, I had fun during summer, just doing nothing, relaxing, leaving teacher brain, but now I gotta get back into teacher brain. So creating PowerPoint slides every week, and I don't think what I thought about was going to do, and I think that that's like what you think as a first year teacher, is I'm gonna plan over summer, I'm gonna have everything done so I don't have to do anything, and I could just pull things up. Excuse me, I have the hiccups. And also to just kind of not, just have everything pull up and ready for the day and just prepared, like really organized like that. But I'm coming to find out that that's not the kind of teacher I am. I feel like there are some teachers that are like that, but I'm finding myself to kind of be more like, I'm prepared, but I need to do other things too. So I'm trying to take it a little by little, and I'm gonna have like a generalized outline of what we're working on. How I'm gonna execute it is going to be depending on the class. I don't know what students are coming back into my room. I don't know what new students are coming to my room, and it's gonna be all a big jumble for everyone, including me. So I have to adapt to their needs. And that's a little bit harder because sometimes you just want it done this way and this is how you want it to look and X, Y, and Z, but sometimes it's not how it works. With that being said, I ranted for almost 10 minutes. I know that this is boring, but being a teacher is hard. And I give a lot of teachers some great credit because it's definitely a learning process. You're constantly learning from students. You're constantly learning with your students. And you're just figuring things out as time goes. There's some things that work and you find some things that don't work. And that's definitely how it's going to be as of now. With that being said, I'm going to get back to my PowerPoint slide. I want to finish this by tonight so that way I can utilize it, and I have some plans, like not only providing students with all the stuff, but also I figured out how to record a Zoom so that way I can save it and I can have it posted for students who need to go back on it and to see that recording and to, just in case you miss it, some things happen. So I'm coming up with a great plan to try to get students as best as I can, try to hit hard first semester and keep that stability going and just having fun with it at the same time. But I shall talk to you guys later and update you on my PowerPoint slide. Bye! So I just finished my PowerPoint slide, so I'm going to kind of go over it a little bit with you guys. Just so you can see how my presentation is going to be in class. So I have my beginning. I have a little segment about me. That's me and Athena, because she's always gonna make her face known. And then because I'm doing middle schoolers, and for some reason middle school doesn't know what a syllabus is, I kind of describe it so that way people understand. And then I have each section. So junior artist is my 6th grade to 8th grade classes. You can see me. Hello. And so I go over what we will be working on in general as a class for this one. I also have a art history class. So it's called Art Through the Ages. So this is a new class that I'm teaching this year. So I am kind of like, this is just a general of what we are going over in this class, really heavily focusing on a lot of things here. I'm also teaching drawing, which is more of a simplistic, your typical art class, as well as painting. Of course, I put Bob Ross because why not? So I can do this. I also put my grading scale. Now, I just kind of grade mostly on attendance / participation. That's the easiest for me because I don't think it's personally fair to grade on their art skills because everyone's at a different level. So I have that, and also presentation. It's so important because a lot of my kids cannot present for the life of them. They get too scared, they are lazy, all these different things. So presentation's a big chunk of it, just to help them be strong artists, being able to talk about their work. I also have homework. Homework also classifies as classwork and then portfolio. At the end of the year, we're putting everything in a portfolio, nice and neat and all that fun stuff. So that's great. I quickly go over what materials are, how I'm talking about them. Because we're doing virtual, this is going to be a little bit harder, and I'm going to discuss with my school how to do that. So for right now, this is what it is. If I have to refine it, I'll refine it, no problem. And I go over each class. So my junior artist, we go over a little bit of everything. They're middle school, so they have to kind of learn a lot of things. So besides, I kind of like put an arrangement of different things that they can get their hands on. I'm also going to teach them how to make paint in a couple different ways. So if they don't have access to things like paint or, like whatever they have. So that way I can give them more tools from what they can use at home. And even with each project, I'll give an example of what could work. Or, I even included digital art with Procreate. I know a lot of students that I have love using that. So if they have that, they can use it, no problem. And for some reason, I think this one had too many, so I couldn't do it with that one. But I have my Art Through the Ages. It's a little bit more simplistic, where it's a little bit like junior artists, but we're kind of more based on art history. So we're going to really focus on the history to it all. So that's why I put the etc., because I can explain later. Each class we're doing a different assignment, so I can kind of cater to that. Drawing materials are a little bit more simplistic because you only need drier mediums and all that stuff. And then painting, simplistic painting materials. I'm also teaching them how to make paint, so if they don't get their hands on paint, they have a way to make paint. And my class rules, something a little bit more simplistic, because I really don't have expectations, but most of my expectations are more for in the classroom. And since we aren't in the classroom, there's really not much I can do except for this, and it's fine. It's fine. And then this is kind of like the end. I don't understand why there's paint on this child's teeth, but we're going here. But that's the end of my PowerPoint slide. I really, really wanted to make sure that this presentation was clear and concise, and also like a good format for me to talk about things, because I struggle with that. I struggle with talking and making sure everything is very specified. So this is going to be a huge help when I am presenting and making sure that my students are okay and that they get all the tools they need. That's basically all I've really been doing today, besides trying to go and get my car fixed. I got a new car, so having to go and do some car stuff, and that's basically it. That's all I've been really doing. It's been a little bit of a slow process. I'm just kind of a little bit eager to just kind of get started in class. and just to kind of organize my room how I want in a more efficient way for me. Excuse me, sorry, as well as just kind of having a little bit more of a structure. And I know a lot of teachers have been talking about this here on YouTube, but we don't have structure very much, and I don't think I've had tons of structure, and being off of it, and I just don't like it. I need that separation from home and work, and it just doesn't work having me do it at home, because then I work on other things that I don't want to work on. So that being said, I am going to go. Thank you guys for watching, and I hope you have a wonderful time. I'm gonna kind of like end the vlog here and re-upload. This is my second upload for the day. That way I have a little bit more consistency. I want this kind of short and concise. I don't want a 30-minute video. And there was like a lot of detail to this, so I'm just gonna kind of end it here. That way you guys can also see a little bit of my process and how I'm lesson planning as a art teacher in California. Just art teaching in general, how you can do it virtually. It's hard. It's not easy. If you think just doing first grade or second grade, like that's hard, let alone trying to figure out how am I going to teach these kids art when they don't have art supplies, or when you're not physically there. It's so much harder. So with that being said, thank y'all for watching, and I will see you on the next vlog. Bye.